Part 2. Ranger on a Dangerous Frontier. By the mid-1830s, Texas was no longer merely unsettled. It was unstable. The promise that had drawn families west now stood alongside fear and uncertainty. The land was rich, but authority was weak. Settlements spread faster than law, and conflict followed close. Bands of Indians moved across traditional hunting grounds now claimed by newcomers. Mexican officials struggled to maintain control. Durham understood this world for what it was. A man had to be ready to stand, rifle in hand, when his family or neighbors were threatened. It was in this climate that Durham became a Texas Ranger. The Rangers were not soldiers in the formal sense. They were farmers, herdsmen, surveyors, men who answered the call when danger rose. They furnished their own horses, weapons, and supplies. There was little pay, less comfort, and no promise of safety. What bound them together was necessity and resolve. Durham rode with several ranger companies over the years. He learned to move quietly through timber, to read signs in the dirt, to listen more than he spoke. Men slept beneath open skies, ate what they could carry or take, and rose before dawn to patrol wide stretches of unsettled land. By 1838, tensions in East Texas had worsened. The court of a rebellion had recently shaken the region, revealing alliances between discontented settlers, Mexican agents, and certain Indian groups. The threat was no longer distant or abstract. It was present, organized, and dangerous. In September of that year, Durham served with Captain Joseph Williams' Ranger Company along the Angelina River. A surviving record, a simple receipt, notes that a hog was taken by the Avant for company use, signed by First Lieutenant James Fisher on September 27, 1838. It is a small document, but it speaks volumes. It tells us Durham was there, riding, provisioning, and enduring the same hardships as the other men. That campaign became part of what is now known as the Kickapoo War. The Rangers were ordered to drive hostile groups from the region. Patrols moved cautiously through the river, bottoms, and pine forests. The land was thick with brush, visibility poor, and danger constant. On October 16, 1838, combat erupted. The Rangers located and destroyed a Kickapoo village along the Angelina River. 10 Kickapoo warriors and 1 renegade Cherokee were killed in the fighting. The engagement was brief, but violent, marked by smoke, shouting, and the thunder of gunfire echoing through the trees. Durham survived the action, though the experience left its mark. Not long after, Durham volunteered again. In the winter months that followed, northeast Texas faced renewed danger. Groups of Indians from numerous tribes gathered and began raiding settlements. Homes were attacked, livestock taken, and fear spread quickly among isolated families. On January 6, 1839, Durham joined Captain James W. Cleveland's Ranger Company, part of Lieutenant Colonel Jacob Snively's Ranger Battalion. The men rode hard toward Natchez, patrolling day after day, searching for signs of the attackers. They found nothing. For 3 long weeks, the Rangers scouted the countryside, sleeping lightly, watching tree lines, listening for sounds that never came. Eventually, it was assumed the raiders had fled the area. The company began to disband, and Durham left the unit on January 27, 1839. But his service was not finished. What lay ahead would test him in ways he had not yet faced, because the next call to arms would place his eldest son, William, at his side. The real-life saga continues in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video.